So basically, I think every one of you know what is Workday. Okay, it's a combined. You can say one product where we have multiple modules combined, and it shows the data of employee. You can say hire to retire. Okay, so hire to retire as in any company. Whenever employee gets hired, okay, the data will be stored in Workday, and whatever transactions the worker is doing, like let's say termination, sorry, transfer, promotion, applying leaves, termination, salary change, everything. That is something maintained in the Workday. So it is one product. See, there were a lot of products available before Workday as well. For example, PeopleSoft, Oracle Fusion, okay, SAP. There are a lot of products of SAP are there in the market. And if those products are already available in market, then where exactly Workday stand, and how Workday became the dominant in HCM system space. So basically, see, when I mentioned some of the products like PeopleSoft, Oracle Fusion. Oracle is cloud, Oracle Fusion is cloud, but Oracle PeopleSoft is like on-premise system. Okay, so whenever the system is on-premise system, first you need to understand what is on-premise system, what is cloud system. Okay, so on-premise system is something where you need to maintain hardware, maintain software in your system. So there will be one architecture. You are going to maintain a lot of things. Okay, you need to maintain the servers. You need to maintain many things. You need to maintain access. The configuration, the installation, so many things. Whereas in Workday, you don't need to maintain anything. It's just you need Google Chrome, nothing else. You can do everything in Google Chrome. Okay, so it's easily portable. You don't need to maintain servers and all. Workday is going to do that. Okay, so you don't need to think about maintaining Workday. That is something Workday will take care by itself. So these are the things is very differentiable between on-premise system and cloud-based system. So today we are not covering any topic. Okay, we will just talk about this home screen and a little bit concepts and all. Just exploring Workday kind of thing. Okay, so in Workday, whenever you log in, I think I think many of you have enrolled already. That's why you have joined this call. So when you have enrolled, Cloud Foundation has given you some sort of setups where you have your own remote connection. In that remote connection, you have Chrome, you have password. Now using this RoboForm start phase, you are logging in Workday. Okay, so automatically this bot is entering the credentials, and when you enter the password, basically you logged into Workday automatically. Now when you log into Workday, this is how the screen looks like. Okay, this is the home page of Workday. In this home page of Workday, you need to understand couple of things, like whatever you can see these icons here. There are some icons. What are the options we have in this, what are the options we have here. This is something you need to understand. Day by day you are going to use. It's not something you need to remember. Okay, it's like you are going to use these things every day, so automatically you will get used to. So no need to remember, but understand where exactly what is stored, and what are the what are the options we use for what kind of purpose. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. Now I'm starting with the this Workday logo. Okay, so let's start with Workday logo. So this is Workday logo. Whenever you click on this Workday logo, you will be routed to the home screen. Okay, so wherever, let's say you are working in some another window, not another window. Basically, you are working in some task and all. You are creating something in Workday, and when you click on this, you will be routed to the home screen of Workday. Okay, this is the home screen of Workday. Now here I'm going in the right hand side. In the right hand side, the first thing you can see is the profile picture. Okay, so this profile picture is basically your profile. Right now, for learning, you have got one profile. You will see the name different and all those things different. But whenever you join any company, okay, and when you get your Workday access, then this will be your profile. Okay, your photo. If you upload your photo, and then when you click on this, your details will be available. Now, when you click on this one, there are so many options you can see here. Okay, all these options are having specific purpose. Okay, when you click on view profile, you will be able to see the the details about your profile. What is your designation? What is your job profile? What is your position? Who is your manager? What is your email address? With your contact details, everything. Okay, everything about your profile you will be able to see using this view profile. Now here, if you go view profile, there are a lot of things in view profile as well. This is just a summary page. In this summary page, it is showing you the organization details, the company details, the location details. All these are your location details. Basically, I'm saying not your, whoever profile you are you are searching, you're looking for, for that profile these details will be there. Okay, so let's say I'm searching for Logan McNeil. So then, here supervisory organization, company location, you will see for Logan McNeil. Okay. Now here you can see the job details, basic job details, like what is your organization, what is your job profile, what is your business title, your management level, time type, FTE, location, all these things, hire date, original hire date, you can see here. Okay, so you can explore when you get the access. I would say before you start in the integration, if you have not explored the profile, then I would request you guys to just explore profile. In that profile, you don't need to worry about whether employee type is regular or not. Just see what are the details stored in one worker profile. Okay, so most of you, not most of you, few of you are already working in Workday. You have your profile, you can see that. But whoever is not having, who are not working in Workday and looking into this for the first time, you just explore all these tabs. Like what are the details stored in job tab? Here, when you go job, then here also you will see multiple tabs. Okay, then if you select another personal module, then here you will be able to see multiple tabs. Just explore tabs and understand where exactly what is stored. Okay, navigation. Why I'm saying this thing? See, when you are looking, for any job uh, uh, in the beginning level. Okay, so for the beginners, basically the expectation is like, you should understand how can you navigate to Workday, how can you get details from the Workday. Okay, as this Workday is storing the employee details, you should be able to understand where exactly what details are stored for employee. Okay, these are for base level people who start working in Workday in a big company where there are so many projects running. They are going to give you a very basic activities like monitoring or analysis or AMS projects, support projects. Okay, so there it is going to. So I would say, like, you explore all this thing, get the understanding of one particular profile, understand what are the modules you can see here, like personal, contact, compensation, benefits, pay, performance, career, feedback, absence. There are a lot of things you can see here, right? So explore all these modules here. Okay. Then once you explore all these things, then I'm just going back to home. To go to home, I have clicked here. Any question, you have related to worker profile, which I was showing. Okay. No, that's fine. But if you get, let me know. So this is home again. This is like, equivalent to this icon. This is also home. This is also home. You can click. Now here, when you click my account, in my account, you will be able to change the password. Okay. They have not given the access to change the password. That's why you don't see here. But when you click, you will be able to change the password. Okay. Now there are multiple options here. You're not going to use each and everything. Basically, you're going to use your my account. If you need to change the password, mostly you're going to use view profile. Then here there is a drive. Workday offers some drive. For example, when you are using Google Chrome, Gmail. Gmail is also giving you Google Drive, right? There are some capacity there, some storage capacity there, and you can store your details there. So there is Workday profile, Workday Drive as well. Okay, this is Workday Drive. Then my reports is like, let's say in Workday, you are running any reports. If that report is generating the data, that will come into my reports. Okay. Now there is, you can explore all these options. These are not much relevant, but gradually, you will learn. So everyone is having their own way of working and, navigating things. We mainly use in Workday the search bar to navigate anything, to open anything, search anything. Okay, but if you want quick shortcuts configure for you so that you can access those things very quickly, you can configure here. Okay, so here in the menu, when you click on menu, here you can see shortcuts. So let's say you are a functional person, you have to hire employees. Okay, and you are you are hiring employees very frequently, so you have to access one task hire. Okay, so in that case you can configure. Okay, what is this higher and all, that is something we will understand. Okay, I'm not going to explain what is higher, but we will talk about the business process, task and reports. Okay, here you just think like these are some tasks, some activities you can do in Workday, and you can configure those things as a shortcut, so that you don't need to search anything here. You simply click on shortcut and you can access that task. Okay, so this is the menu bar. Now here, this is the main thing, search. Okay, this search is something. This is a very a smart search tool. So it can search you anything. It's not Google, but in Workday, it can search anything if you have that enough access. Okay, for example, if I need to search another employee, and I know the name of another employee. Okay, so let's say Logan McNeil is the employee. I need to search her profile. You just write Logan McNeil and it will give you Logan McNeil profile. Okay, it will give you everything where Logan McNeil name is there. But if you are searching for profile, this is the Logan McNeil profile. How I understood, gradually you will be able to understand as well. Basically, here you can see, right? Just a moment. Here you can see this is supervisory organization. Okay, all these are supervisory organization. These are cost center. This is supervisory organization. And here it is saying director, human resource. So basically, looking into this, it looks like this is someone's profile. Okay, so if you're searching, this is how you are going to understand. Now, this is searching. This is a way of searching employee. Now, if you know the employee ID of any worker you wanna search, you can enter the employee ID, and it will give you again the profile of that person. Okay. Now let's say you are working on some activity. Let's say you are an integration admin. You have to create one EIB. EIB is an integration tool. I'm going to explain that later. So let's say you are working on EIB. To work on EIB, you need to create a custom report. Okay. Now, how exactly you create a custom report? See, basically, initially we give you the task name. Okay. Gradually, you will understand the task name. But let's say you don't know anything. You just know like, okay, I have to create a report, custom report. Okay. Then only just type custom report, custom report. So here you can see custom report, security. There are a lot of things. Okay. Now, create custom report task is not giving here. I mean, it's not giving here. So something you need to write more. So let's say, I'm just typing create custom report. Here you can see create custom report. Okay, so basically whatever action you need to do in the system, see in integration we are having very limited tasks to understand. Okay, you are going to create custom report, you are going to create calculated field, you are going to create EIB, core connector integration, then you are going to configure security, business process security. Only these things you are going to. But when we are working in functional space, like one of the person mentioned, I think Sweta, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, whoever is working in functional space, so they are configuring a lot of things. Okay, so even in core SCM, if they have to configure, if they have to set up one company, then you have to create supervisory organization, then you have to create company, you have to create cost center, job profile, compensation grade profiles. Okay, then you have to create a lot of things there. Okay, so for integration people is quite easy because we are accessing very limited tasks, but for functional people who are working in any module, there are a lot of tasks which they need to access quite frequently. Okay, so they don't remember, actually they get used to that, and simply they type like whatever they need to create. Let's say compensation grade, you simply type compensation grade. Okay, if you are not getting here, just click on more. Somewhere you will get some task related to creating compensation grade. Okay, so that is how this can be used. This search bar can be used. It's a very smart search tool. Here you don't need to write the exact thing. You just write whatever in just very basic English terms, and it will give you the result. Okay, you can just access and explore. Sometimes it will happen like you will get you type something and you got multiple options, and in which two options looks relevant to you. Okay, instead of one option, two options look relevant to you. So there you need to explore, you need to do hit and trial. if you don't know the exact task name. Okay, so that's fine. So any question related to this, search bar?
No, Ganesh.
No, no, Ganesh.
Okay. Now these are the two important things. Okay. One is the notification. This is notification. So let's see what are the things there in the notification. So document available, okay, I mean, someone has created something, a document available. Basically, someone is running something. Let's say, I'm running, one report, and whenever that report, gets triggered, or executed, I need, that report in my notification box. Okay, so those are the things you can, configure whenever you schedule things. Okay, gradually you will get to understand. Like whenever you schedule things and you're routing those notifications to your inbox, okay, sorry, to your profile, then you will start receiving notifications. Generally this is for some of the activities we do, like running the reports. When we run the reports, we want, when the report data is generated, we want to get notified. Okay, so those are the things you configure in the notification. You don't configure, basically when you are scheduled, automatically that gets configured. Okay, sometimes let's say you are a report admin in any company in Workday. So report admin means you are not working in integration space. Instead, you are creating report for business people. Okay, let's say you are a report admin. Business is coming to you saying, hey, I need one report which gives us all the people who are working in North America. Okay, or I need one report who can give me the details of benefit enrollments of all the employees in the company. Okay, so in those cases what you will do is you are going to create one report for them. Okay, and then you are going to schedule. Okay, so let's say they ask you, like, every Monday I need the details of all employees who have been enrolled in this particular benefit plan, or whoever who have been enrolled in any benefit plan. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to create a report. You are going to schedule a report, that report. And when you schedule that report, you are going to share that data with those respective people who have asked you to create this report. Okay. So now when you schedule that, when the schedule will get executed, they will get notification whenever that report run, and they will get the output data of that report in their notification box. Like here you can see there, this is one of the document. Okay, now there are some activities. Okay, my task, this is inbox, you can say. Okay, this is notification, this is inbox. Okay, in inbox what happens is, let's say you are hiring any worker. In my task means anything that is pending on you. Okay, let's say you are a manager. Okay, you are hiring one contractor or one employee under you. So when you need to hire, what you did is you triggered hire business process, you provided the details, and now you're hiring. Okay, so when you are hiring, there are certain approvals triggered. Okay, hiring doesn't happen in any company like, I want to hire this person, and you come here, okay, and you got hired without any formalities. There are a lot of process in hiring. So basically when we hire any worker in any company, first of all, their personal information will be collected. Then according to personal information, the profile will be created. Okay, then the salary will be salary will be decided for that person. That salary will be approved, allowances will be approved, absence will be approved, one time bonus, or whatever it is, that will be approved, and there may be other thing that requires approval. Okay, so it is a stepwise process. Okay, someone is starting the business process. When someone is starting that business process, it is going to the next step, and next step requires approval from some another person. Okay, now understand this part. Okay, whenever step requires approval from another person, means in that person my task or inbox, that approval task will be there. Okay, so let's say I am hiring Sweta. Okay, then what will I'll do is I'll just trigger hire business process, or let's say any recruiter or HR is triggering the hire business process for Sweta. As soon as they enter, I'm gonna get one item in my task. Like there is one person who is getting hired in my company. Okay, in my organization. Okay. Now they will ask for my approval. Once I approve, then it will go to the next step. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, if any item which is pending for your action, those action items you will get in your my task box. Okay, this is your inbox. Okay, so mostly these are the things used in the functional space. To be honest, in integration space, mostly these things we don't do. But sometimes you are working on very tricky integration or complex integration where there are a lot of things and a lot of steps. You are dealing with functional as well as integration part. There you are going to use that. But for your understanding, you understand my in my task there will be items which is pending for your action. In notification, basically you will get notified for something. Okay, so this is about the Workday home screen. Now in Workday, there are certain ways of searching things. Like let's say, see in Workday there are a lot of things. A lot of things like there are employee profiles. Okay, in that employee profile, if you see the company details are there, location details are there, job details are there. Then there are many tasks for configuration. There are many when you search, there are many reports are running. So everything is controlled by this search bar. Okay, now everything is controlled by this search box. Then how exactly we can control? Let's say you have to search only supervisory organization, or let's say you have to search any integration, or let's say you have to search only reports or only calculated field. Okay, so there is one thing in a tenant. You can just type question mark, click enter. What it will give you? It will give you is prefixes. Okay, prefixes means if you want to search any specific kind of object, you can use prefix before typing anything in the search box. It will give you only those items. Okay, so how it works is, let me show you. So basically here I have I have searched for question mark. When I search for question mark, here you can see all prefix words. Okay, so all prefix words, like you will it's like these are the prefixes for searching thing. Let me give you one example. What they have done. Yeah, here only you can see the example. Okay, let's say you need to search for business process. In Workday, there is a term business process. Business process stands for the step-by-step execution of any any activity, you can say. So let's say you need to search only business process. Okay, now if you need to search only business process, there is a prefix BP colon. Now when you will search using BP colon, that is a prefix. BP colon colon, that is a prefix. ID colon is a prefix. Okay, worker colon is a prefix. JR colon is a prefix. Okay, all these prefixes are for searching any specific thing. For example, this JR colon is for job requisition. This BP colon is for business process. ID colon is for any ID in Workday. This is to search any worker in Workday. Now let me show you some of the searching things, like how can you see the BPs and all. So let's say you need to search BP, type higher. It will give all the business process definitions. See, all these are business process definitions. Now, if I need to search integration, only integration, okay, what you can do is you just mention INTSYS. This is a prefix to search for integration. And if you know any name, okay, if you're searching for any integration, just give the name of the integration. If you know the full name, that is fine. If you don't know the full name, then you just simply give whatever you know about that integration. Let's say there is a Concur, Workday to Concur integration. So in Workday to Concur, you know Concur term. Okay, try to search for Concur. In this tenant, you will not be able to find, but if Concur already Concur actually exists in the tenant where you are working in, you will be able to find that kind of integration. Now here, let's say I'm trying to search via integration ID. This integration ID is something we define. It's not a convention, but every company follows their own integration IDs. Okay, this INT 001, this is kind of common integration ID which we follow for most of the clients. Okay, so I just search for NCS colon INT 001, and it is giving me all the integration in which integration name contains INT 001. Okay, all these are integration system, and in all this integration system, you can see INT 001. Okay, so here you can see only integration system. How that worked is, earlier when I was searching, okay, it was giving other things as well. Okay, the task, report, profile, organization, but now it is giving only integration system. Okay, so how that is controlled? That is controlled via this prefix. This is a smart way of searching in Workday. You use the prefix, give the object name, whatever you know, and it will give you that kind of object names only. Okay. Now, if you are giving something which is which Workday is not understanding, or if that kind of object doesn't exist, definitely you will not find anything. But you can try searching like this. Okay. And gradually you have to get the habit of searching in this way. Whenever you are searching for integration, give int sys colon. Whenever you are searching for job requisition, give JR colon. Okay. Whenever you are searching for report, just search for RD. Okay. You can explore more here, but in this tenant, somewhere, someone has manipulated, this thing. So that's fine. Anyways, I mean, I'll give you all the prefixes, which will be quite frequent used. Okay. You can just note it down, and you can use that. Any question, guys? You guys are not speaking anything. So there are two possibilities. Either you are,
No questions so
grasping
far,
everything.
Ganesh.
Okay. Okay, fine. But you are understanding
Yes,
the
yes.
all these options, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So are we in the class? Are we taking all these options? Because I don't know much options, but I just understand that we can make a shortcut like a RD or BP to find out the business process or whatever the abbreviations we are using related to Workday here.
Sorry, come again with your question.
So as you showed that there is a
Hmm,
some shortcuts like if you want to search a business
hmm,
process and you have to write the name or
hmm,
integration system or it's a ID which is
hmm,
specific to that client. So
hmm,
likewise there are a lot of shortcuts which we can use in the search bar to search the things like a task or the report or the
hmm,
business process or many more things. I just know few only,
hmm.
but we are going to see those things in upcoming session.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. See, see, you are working in a functional space, Sweta. So basically, you are going to access a lot of tasks here. Okay, so some of the tasks you need to remember. Let's say you are working in SCM, you are accessing very basic task. Whatever task you are accessing, you're go, you're going to remember that. But let's say you are working in payroll. Okay, when you work in payroll, there are a lot of activity, there are a lot of calculation you need to configure. There are a lot of period schedules and a lot of terminology you need to take care of that. Okay, so there sometimes when you start in those modules for the first time, you need to note it down and understand. See, definitely you can type here like pay period or something, it will give you something, but stepwise when you are following some steps, you need to be very specific, right? If it is giving you multiple tasks with the same name, you have to follow the sequence. You should not be doing the mistake. So basically there you would need to remember the sequence of tasks. But yes, you're right. When you will go ahead with the training, in that training, there will be a lot of tasks which they are going to show you. Like right now, I believe you have access only create supervisory organization, create job profiles, create location, create company, and all these things, right? And then
Yeah.
also, yeah, then after those things, you are going to use higher BP, assign compensation. Okay, you are going to configure business process. Then you are going to create security roles. You are going to assign those security to yourself. So all those things will come gradually. Okay, so in
Hmm.
functional space, comparatively from integration space, you need to remember couple of more things from the search bar perspective. Okay, but it's not that much difficult in Workday, to be honest, because I have never seen anyone in Workday who is actually remembering the task. Few tasks everyone remembers, but it's very user friendly.
Okay.
Okay, you will not get this kind of pressure in Workday, Sweta. So don't worry about that. And in integration, anyways, it is very simple. Any
Okay.
other question?
No.
Okay, so now there are a couple of things which I need to mention, guys. Like we call Workday. Workday is Workday is a feature of power of one. Okay, so power of one. What is power of one? Okay, so power of one is actually there is just one community. One community is across the world. Everyone is accessing one community only. So wherever Workday document, there is a Workday space where Workday stores. It's like Google. In Google, when you search anything, it gives you answer to all those questions. Whatever is there on the web, Google search everything and gives you all the data, right? So Workday is also having their own community. If you are stuck with any functionality, if you have any question, if you want to learn anything, if you want to ask anything from Workday, you can post all those things. You can search all those things in the community. This community is is same for everyone. Okay, so there is one community, there is just one source of data. It's not like database, like every company has given their table name according to them. It's like it's like for every company, for every client, there is a same data source name, there is a same table name. Okay, it's a similar structure. Okay, so we call that as one source of data. Everyone is having one experience. Okay, so everyone is having one experience. What does that mean? So let's say we are learning Workday, and we have this tenant. Okay, and let's say you join another company, let's say Deloitte, IBM, or another company you join. So when you join, so when you will access the Workday, it that all everything will be the same. Okay, the experience will be the same, the usability of the same, the search technique will be same, everything will be same. Okay, so there is no difference of experience in Workday. It's like common. Okay, so whenever you work in any company, and when you join any another company in Workday, generally you don't need to learn a lot of things, because the same navigation, everything is same. It just you just join and start working in that company. So it's like one experience. Then there is one security model. Security model is like in Workday, here I showed you like this is my profile. In my profile I can access all these things. Okay, so security, as in when I am trying to access another profile, let's say I'm trying to access Logan McNeil profile, there is no guarantee that I will be able to see all these things. Okay, see, right now this Jacqueline is a super user. Sorry, this Jacqueline is a super user in the tenant. That's why I am able to access everything of every employee. Okay, but let's say when you join any company, okay, and you are just a user of Workday, you will be able to see details of your profile, but you will not be able to see all the details of others profile. Okay, that is getting controlled via security. So in every company the security model is same. Okay, so that's how that is why we call Workday as power of one. Then in Workday, how the data is stored, as if I think many of you have idea of this thing, database. Is there a database, any functional or any person?
I have little bit knowledge.
Okay, but you understand what is table, how the data is stored in table and all, right?
Yes. Fields and instances like rows and columns.
Yes, exactly. So basically here, in Workday, there is no backend. Okay. There is no backend, as in, you will not be able to access any kind of backend. Okay. So generally, whenever there is any portal for any, for any product, you have one UI. This is the UI. okay, which you generally access via Google Chrome or any browser. But there are certain backend as well. Okay, let's say you need to correct the data of Jacqueline. What generally we do is either we correct data from the UI, or there is another way of correcting the data. Like you go to the database, in the database you update the data. Okay, for example, PeopleSoft is a system, on premise system. There is a database there. Okay, now if you need to update any details, you need to go to the database, and then you can edit. From UI also you can edit. See, in Workday there is no backend. You will not be able to access any kind of backend. You will be having only this screen. You are going to do everything on this screen. If you need to edit, if you have enough security, you are going to edit via this UI only. You will not be having any second screen where you go and you update things. That is not going to happen. So basically, if we compare, okay, if we compare Workday with database model, okay, then how exactly we can relate is Workday stores data in the business object. Business object. And this business object is equivalent to table in database. Now, now anyone who know database, you understand whenever I say business object, you understand I'm talking about one table. Okay. Now, when I'm gonna mention data source in Workday, you understand I'm talking about view. Okay, so view is like there are, let's say, multiple tables in the system. Now I need to create one view joining multiple tables. Okay, so there in database DBMS terminology we call that as a view. Here in Workday we will call as data source. Okay, now the in Workday we call instances. So this instances is actually rows in a table. Okay, rows in a table. So basically, let's say there is a table, employee table. There are 100 employees. So there will be 100 rows in that table, employee table. Each row will be referred to one instance. Okay, one row is equal to one instance. Basically, row is equal to instance. Okay, now the last is fields. Fields is column. Okay, in data in DBMS also we call fields sometimes, or columns only. Okay, field or columns. Here in Workday we are going to use fields. Okay, so fields means you understand column. Let's say let's say there is an employee table. For example, if you want to visualize, let me visualize you guys. So let's say there is a table that is called employee. Okay. Now this is the employee. This is the table name. Okay. Now this employee is having first name, last name, date of birth, gender, hire date. Okay. So let's say this is a table, and this table is storing these many fields of any worker. Now this is a table name. These are the fields that this table is storing for employees. And now let's say there is A1, this is employee, B1. Let's say this is a table. Similarly, there are let's say 10 employees. Okay, let's say 11 employees. So now this is a table. Okay. So in Workday, the business object is this one. This is an employee table. So business object is the employee. Okay, this is something you can call business object in terms of Workday. Okay, now these are the fields. Okay, in this table. So in Workday, these are the fields In DBMS we call this as columns, okay, but in Workday we will call this as fields. You will it's basically it's visible, right? Like what is field and all. So you understand, like this is one of the field, this is another field. There are total 5 fields in this business object. It can be more as well, okay. And this database table is dynamic, okay. If you want to create a new field in DBMS, what happens is when you create any table, you will not be able to create a dynamic field in that table, okay. But in Workday you can do that. So let's say if there are 5 fields here, you want to create a sixth field, you want to derive a new field using this one, you will be able to create on this business object, okay. You can create any number of fields on this business object, okay. So this is field, this is business object, and these are the instances. So basically this is instance 1, this is instance 2, and this is instance 11. So now you guys are able to relate, this DBMS table with the Workday, with Workday, like, how DBMS can be compared. It's not like it's equal to, but can be compared with Workday. How Workday can be compared with the DBMS. Okay. So whenever I say any business object, you need to understand, like I'm talking about one of the table. Okay. Table is something like this. There are, certain number of fields in that table. There are certain number of instances in that table. Okay. So all these rows will be called as instance. This is one row. This one row is one instance. This is another row. This is another instance of this business object.
Ganesh, what about data source view? What does
Yeah.
that
So
mean?
data source view is like, let's say, this is employee. Now there is, let's say another table, and this is not employee. This is a contractor. Just an example. Okay. This is contractor. We are storing similar kind of thing, okay, in contractor business object as well, okay. Now employee plus contractor is called worker in Workday. Okay, so when you say employee, it will refer to only employees, permanent employees, you can say. When you refer contractor, it will refer as contractor, contingent workers. But when you say worker, that means you're not categorizing between, you're not differentiating. Basically, everyone is worker. You are talking about employee as well as contractor. Okay, so worker means employee as well as contractor, anything. Now there is a different business object for employee. There is a different business object for contractor. Now I need the details of employee as well as contractor in one place. How can I basically I can say, like, you want to join this two table, you want to fetch the instances of both this table. In DBMS, what you do is you join this and create a view, right? In DBMS, what you are going to do is you are going to create a view where you are going to join employee plus contractor. There is no linking. Basically, all the instances you fetch from employee and all the instances you fetch from contractor. Okay, definitely there will be unique ID. Here I've not mentioned employee ID. Okay, employee ID will be unique. Here also employee ID will be unique. Both will be different profile, but I need both things in just one place. Okay. So that is what is data source. In data source, I'll create one data source. I will not create, because Workday has already created. So let's say all active workers. Okay. All active workers. So now this data source, all active workers, means there is a view which has been created by Workday joining employee and contractor business object for only active workers. Means whoever active employees are there in this list and whoever active contractors are there in this list, Workday is joining and giving you one data source. Okay, and this data source will be used in report. So we will talk about more anyways when we will be talking about the report, from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow we are going to start custom report. There I'm going to show you how exactly this data source is used, how exactly this business object is used. But at a high level, you understand, like let's say this is an employee business object, this is a contractor business object. Now you need to get the details from both the tables. You have created a view. The view name is all active workers. Now this all active workers view is containing the record, the instances of employee as well as contractor business object.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. You understood at a high level. I mean, at least you are able to
Yeah.
visualize what is that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. So basically, see, I'm not gonna talk about the functional anything, but I'm gonna talk about the six core concepts of Workday SCM. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about the integration. So these are the two things I'm gonna cover today. Okay, and then we will continue tomorrow. So six core concepts. There are six core concept of Workday XCM. And I think Sweta is aware of this thing. Okay. But, even if you're not aware, don't worry about this thing. You're not going to configure these things. Okay. So there are six core concept of Workday is first is supervisory organization. So supervisory organization is something you can understand as a hierarchy ladder. Like, someone is reporting to someone. So that is what is maintained using supervisory organization. Then there are staffing models. Staffing models is like see, every one of you are from India. I think you understand mass hiring and individual hiring. Okay, let's say there is a big company, there is a product based company. Whenever they open any position in the market, they have specific requirement. I need four people, to fill this position for this kind of role. Okay, but whenever you see like Infosys, Wipro, this company, when this company go to any college for campusing, they don't know how many people they are going to hire. They simply see like, okay, in 500 people, 100 people looks good, they just hired 100 people, right? So basically there are two kind of models. One is position specific model and one is job specific model. They just want to hire freshers, a number of fresher. Okay, so there are two models here. One is position based, another is job based. This is what we call staffing model. Then there is job profiles, which define the job structure of any individual. Then, compensation, which you already know, the salary of employees, security, who can see what and who can do what. Then business process. So business process is basically, what needs to happen, who needs to do what, when will it appear. Okay. So there are these are the six core concept of Workday SCA. So, these six core concepts, I mean, I would say like, see, Sweta is taking the SCM module training, but the people who are not taking any, SCM training and all, let's say, you are simply working in any integration, but the ideal way of learning things is like, you need to understand from techno functional perspective. Okay, right now you have access to Workday, you are learning integration, but I would say, you explore these things by yourself. Okay, that's why I have mentioned, otherwise integration, there is no relevant of these things. Okay, so if you, let's say, if you start working in any company as an integration admin, and there is a requirement that you need to hire a test employee, you should not be dependent on any functional person to hire any employee. You should know how to hire any employee. Okay, so how exactly we are going to hire that employee, that is something I'm not going to talk about in the integration session. That is why I'm just giving you the glimpse of this core concept. You explore. Okay, if you need some details or documentation, I'm going to give, but you explore, you understand how to hire and all those things. Okay, so this is just for your visibility, nothing else. Now I'm gonna talk about the integrations. Okay, don't get confused, guys. This is something I know I just mentioned just to so that you guys are aware. It's not about the integration and all. This is just a basic, you can say core pillars of Workday SCM. Okay, so you explore more. If you explore, if you have any question, if you want to understand anything, you can reach out to me. Now let us discuss about the R part, integration. Okay, so this will be the last topic which we are going to cover today. I'm just gonna show you how, what is integration, how that works, why integration requires and all those things. So few people, you mentioned you are already working in integration space. Can someone take a stand and just tell me, like, what do you understand by integration?
So, in a
Anyone?
simple terms, it's connecting two systems to communicate or exchange the data.
Yes. So basically, it's a integration is kind of, you can say, a bridge which is connecting two systems to talk with each other. Okay. So when talk with each other means sharing the information with each other. Okay. Now, what is the relevant term? Okay. Now you have started Workday SCM and you are learning integration. So, just understand yourself, in this Workday. I mean, now you visualize everything, with you only. See, you are working in any company. Okay. Now let's say create, there is a ABC company and, let's say Shravan is a employee of that company. Oh, okay. Shravan is employee of that company. There are many employees in that company. Shravan is one of the employee in that company. Okay. Now, this is Shravan. He joined ABC company. Now, when he joins, his profile gets created in Workday because Workday is the HR system, SCM system. Okay. So his profile got created in the Workday system. In this Workday system, or someone what he did is when he got hired, he stored his personal details, his compensation details, his basically whatever employee is having for his life cycle. All the details are stored in this Workday. Okay, and in Workday, all the things related to Shravan personal growth in the company and all, that is something is stored in the Workday, but there are some limitations of Workday as well. Okay, we will talk about that. Now, personal information is stored in Workday, and someone is basically, I'm not saying personal information, I'm saying HR details of Shravan that is stored in Workday. Okay. Now, when Shravan joins the company, then he was told, like, if you need to see any details of yourself, you can just go to Workday, you can visit Workday, and you can see your details. Okay. Now, after a few days, what happens is the company asked Shravan to submit the timesheet. Okay. And they asked Shravan to not submit timesheet in Workday. Instead, they have asked to submit the timesheet in Kronos, for example. Okay. So basically, this ABC company is using Kronos as a system. This is a, let's say, rostering or time sheeting. I'm just mentioning time sheeting. Okay. Kronos is being used at time sheeting. Okay. Now, Shravan joins the company. He, his company asked him to fill the timesheet in this Chronos. Also, when he joins, he traveled for the company and he has to raise the reimbursement for the company. Okay, so basically, he went to company to collect laptop and all, and his company said whatever expenses will occur, you can, they are going to reimburse those expenses. Now, Savan is an active, employee in this company. He reached out to HR, and HR said like there is a tool which is Conquer. Okay, so in Conquer you can raise the reimbursement. Okay, this is another system. This is another system where you can claim your reimbursement. Okay, now let's say someone has completed 1 month and he got his salary and he want to see his pay slip. Okay, so his company is not using Workday as a payroll. He's an Indian employee. Workday doesn't offer Indian payroll. So there is a another payroll system which the company is using, that is called ADP, for example. Okay, this is a payroll system. Okay, this is payroll. He wanted to see the pay slips, the calculations, and everything. Okay, so for to access that, HR routed him to go to the ADP. Okay, now I'm not going to introduce any other system in a whenever you join any company, that company is having hundreds of other systems. I'm not going to talk about that now. Using these systems, let's understand what is integration. Okay, so basically, Workday is the system, source system in which HR details are stored. But Shravan is asked to submit timesheet in Kronos, asked to claim the reimbursement in Concur, and then any payroll calculation he want to understand, he was routed to the ADP. Okay. Now see, when Shravan was hired in ADP, His profiles created in Workday, we understood. Okay, he was hired in Workday. All his details are there in Workday. That is fine. It's okay. It's understandable. But what happens when someone goes to the Chronos? He saw his profile is created automatically there. He did not add even a single thing. He did not add his name, employee ID, or anything. When he got the link, he clicked on that, and when the link opens, then automatically someone's profile is already there. Similarly, when someone tries to access the Conquer, his profile is already there. When he is trying to access ADP, his profile is already there. How that is happening? His data, he was getting hired in Workday, right? So his data is in Workday. That is what we understood. Okay, but how the data landed into Kronos, Conquer, and ADP, or there are n number of systems. How those things are happening automatically? Okay, let's say Shravan is updating his mobile number in Workday, and automatically that mobile is getting updated in Concur. How that is happening? He is not updating anything in Concur. He is not accessing anything in the Concur. He is simply updating in just one platform, and automatically other platforms are getting in sync. Okay, so how that is happening? That is where the integration comes in picture. Okay, basically integration is joining all this. Integration is, there are a lot of bridges between this system to this system where exchange of data is happening. Okay, and this is what is called integration. There is one channel from which Workday is sending data to Kronos on a daily basis. Okay, that channel is the integration. Integration is sending data from Workday to Kronos on daily basis. So whenever you are updating anything, that update is getting synced up in Kronos, Concur, and ADP, or the other n number of systems. Any question here?
No, Ganesh.
Okay, so basically, this is what is the integration, the joining, the exchange of information happening. Now it could be multi-directional. Let's say this Kronos is just a consumer of Workday data. Then there is a one directional, but there will be from Workday to Kronos. There is just one direction, Workday to Kronos. The data sync up is happening. Now let's say Workday is containing the HR data as well as time setting data. Okay, and Workday is using that time setting data for the payroll calculation, or let's say absence calculation, or any other thing. Okay, let's say you are working on Sunday and Saturday. Whenever you fill the time sheet for Saturday and Sunday, you are getting additional leave balances in Workday. Okay, so if you need to do this thing, then it means whoever is submitting the time sheet in Chronos, that time sheet also should be sent to Workday to do that calculation, right? So this is a bi-directional. Workday is sending the HR data, Kronos is sending the time data to Workday. Okay, not simultaneously, like Workday is sending at the same time, Kronos is also sending. Let's say Workday is syncing up employee data in the morning, and Kronos, when everyone is submitting timesheet, then Kronos is sending those time data to the Workday back in the evening, or let's say weekly once, with whatever frequency. Okay, so this is a two-way. Okay, Workday is also sending something to Kronos. Kronos is also sending something to Workday. Similarly, Kronos can be interact to ADP directly. This is timesheet data. To calculate the payroll, ADP requires time data. So Kronos is integrated with ADP. ADP is integrated with Workday. Workday is integrated with Concur. All these systems are integrated with each other. Okay. Now, are you able to understand, visualize what is integration, guys? Or anyone is having, confusion or any question you want to ask there? Or every one of you are at least, visualizing like what integration means is.
Clear to me, Ganesh.
Yeah, clear to me, Ganesh.
Yes,
Clear
Okay.
to me.
got it.
Okay, nice. So basically everything, whatever we are going to talk, just try to visualize in real time how that is working, how that is happening. You are part of a company. See, Workday is easy to learn in one way because every one of us is employed to one of the company. Okay, so we are looking our data in that company in one portal. We are looking into our payslips. We are looking into salary. We are applying leaves. So all these things are relatable to our daily life. Okay, so that is why Workday is really easy to understand. And whenever we talk about this integration, it's like integration is also like in our daily life, whatever we are accessing in any company. So in integration terms, we are trying to integrate, we are trying to communicate between those systems. That is what you need to understand. Like whatever system you are accessing, all those systems are connected to each other. Okay, via integrations. And we are going to create those integration. We are going to create integration which will sync up data in Chronos from Workday. Means how Workday is going to send HR data to Chronos, how Workday is going to send employee data to Concur. These are the things we are going to create, and these are the things we are going to learn in the training session. Now, coming to you, Sweta. Okay, the question was like, whether this integration is actually, useful for you or not. Okay, so, see, in SCM, you are learning how to hire an employee, how to terminate employee, how to transfer employee in Workday system. Okay, whereas in integration, you talk about multiple system. You are going to work in Workday, but you are dealing not only in Workday, you are dealing with many other systems. Okay, whenever these two systems talk, you will be the person who is going to understand that, and you are the person who's going to fix that, understand if there are any issues, then you need to fix that, all those things. Okay, from learning point of view, if you ask me, integration, basics of integration, which we are going to talk about, is not that difficult. Okay, it's highly configurable. If you don't like coding is very minimal in Workday. You can say like 70%, 75% is configuration, 25% is coding, and those are not complicated coding. Okay, so it's up to you. If you have any question, specific question related to integration, which will clear your doubt and stand if you want to take this session or not. Okay, I am happy to answer. If you have anything, you can raise those things.
Okay, so I have couple of 2 3 questions. So I was not sure, like Workday is a new thing. So thank you for clarifying the things for me. So I just understood that right now what I have started HCM core
Hmm.
is the foundation where I can able to understand what is Workday and how it will be
Hmm.
doing it. Okay, so
Hmm.
once I got that, then only I can able to understand integration. So so HCM, what I am learning right now, it's more on the configuration, how any client want their things to be configured in the Workday system, right?
Hmm.
And integration, what you are talking about, from that I understood that how that system wanted to exchange the data between the two system to and from the Workday.
Hmm.
If some organization is, or if any company is using some other third party systems like Kronos or ADP to
Hmm.
other handle other employee data, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So is my understanding is correct about integration and HCM what I'm taking?
Yes, so the only correction is like, if you think like this is a prerequisite, it's not, the mandate thing, like you need to understand this thing, then only you will be able to create reports or integration. It's not like that. You
Okay.
can learn parallel, but, it's fine. This is something, a basics of Workday, which will give you more clarity of the functional configuration. And definitely in integration, we are going to talk about the systems connecting to different systems. So whatever you said is right, but this is not actually a prerequisite, but if you know, it will be better. You will be able to perform in a techno functional way. If you learn
Correct.
integration, then it will be, the people will be mostly in the integration space. Gradually integration people automatically become techno functional.
Oh, okay, okay. And as you said, like there is a 70% of configuration and 30% of coding.
Hmm.
So the configuration part is a parallel process, I think, what we are doing it, right? And the
Mm,
30% coding, what it needs, 30% of coding, what is the requirement for coding? Do I
yeah.
need to learn anything else?
So
Or do I
basically,
need to understand it?
see, basically here in Workday, if I need to show you, if I need to create a custom report or let's say any integration, EIB is a kind of integration. If I need to create a EIB, I can simply write create EIB. Okay, it will give me one task where I can just go and configure things and I can create one EIB integration. Okay, so
Okay.
this is what configuration, this is what I mean about the configuration. Okay, so 70% is something, we used to, search task here. We, do the configuration here, like, if I give the name, then I select the inbound outbound, I'll click on OK and next, and then, the another set of configuration will come. We are going to do that to create integration. Okay, so this is something about the configuration. Now the coding part which I mentioned, 30%. So what happens is, every this is a object based, system. Okay, so whatever you are clicking, you understand, like, there are a hell lot of web request calls are happening in the backend. Okay, so when we create anything, let's say if you create a custom report, or let's say you create a core connector integration, EIB integration, by default the data generate in XML format. Okay, there is a this that is a format of one file. That format is XML format. Okay, see, everyone doesn't understand that XML format. Okay, every system doesn't understand that XML format. But if we convert that XML format in this structure, then most of the system will understand, right? If I write this
Yes.
data into XML format right now, even you will not be able to understand. Okay, but this is a very crystal clear. Like, this is a table. This is the field. There are total employees. The name of total employees, total 11 employees, A1, A2, A3, A4, something like that. Okay, is quite understandable. So what we do is we convert .xml format into CSV or some other format using this XSLT. That is where coding comes, basics of coding. Okay, there are some other level of coding as well, but those comes in the advanced integrations, like when we create complex integration. But generally, to convert one format to another, we use XSLT in Workday, and there comes coding.
Okay.
Okay, and that also we do in Notepad, and we just used to configure in Workday tenant, and then that works.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
So
So
usually everything in Workday integration is like a reports, like a EIB or core connector. You are saying like it is always a report that sends from Workday to third party and comes from third party to Workday in form of like XML or a CSV or Excel. I mean, there are different forms of media, but it is always a report which we are
no.
doing in
No,
integrations.
no, in integration, see, whenever you talk nowadays, I mean, I'm not talking about only Workday. Now, whenever you talk about technical things in, technical things in any system, then, you will be talking more about the web services. Okay. You will be talking more about the APIs and all. Okay. So those are the terminology we are going to use here as well. In Workday also, most of the things are working on web services. We create APIs, we create file based integration as well. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's what, it's not only report is just part of integration. There is one part of integration is report. There are other integration which uses web services as well, and there are some
So
templates
we
as
are
well.
creating web services, web request APIs, file-based integration. We all are covering those part in integration top,
Yes.
I mean session this time. Okay.
Yes. So web services, I will not be able to show mostly. I mean, I'll try to show. I mean, I'll check if I can get the Postman and all, because I don't have Studio. Studio we don't cover as part of basics of integration. But I'll show you the request how the request message looks like, how the response message looks like. This is one of the response, to be honest. Okay, of the website, and this is what is the XML which I'm showing on the screen. Okay, this is the XML which I was talking, which will be converted in this format using XSLT. Okay, that's a different, that's a coding part. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say is, we are going to create REST APIs using custom report. There are many Workday delivered public web services which we are going to use directly. We are not going to create, to get the data or to update the data. Okay, so we are going to talk about all those things. Any other question? Anyone?
No, Ganesh, nothing from my end.
Okay.
And just curious about the things like you are saying, like we are creating reports and everything. But now in this AI world, everything is, if you search, it will show all the steps and
Mm-hmm.
everything, how to do the things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for us, as a part of integration, do we have to learn any other things also to secure the job, of course?
See, nobody in this domain, nobody job is secure, to be honest. Okay, you have to continuously evolve. You have to continuously grow. Okay, here in Workday also, see, whatever AI we have, chatbots, we have so many, AI tools. Still, people are hiring, to work in Workday integration, right? Companies are hiring and all. So definitely, those things cannot replace totally, us. Now, if you say like if you ask chatbot to create a custom report, in Workday and all, it will give you a report, but how that will be validated, how the security is controlled, how you are not breaching the data and all those things still, we did not reach up to that stage. So, ignore that part, to be honest. In integration, AI part and all, the job is secured. Wherever Workday is implemented, they need one SCM person, they need one absence person, but they need four integration person. Okay, so every company integration profiles are required because they are connecting with multiple system. Job, if you say mostly, the current market which is going on right now, Workday seems as a booming technology. Okay, when you learn basics of integration, you go for the Workday Studio integration. When you learn Workday Studio integration, you go for the Workday Extend. When you learn Workday Extend, then you go for the another Workday feature. So you keep evolving yourself, you will keep growing. Nobody can take your job. If you learn Workday Extend right now, there is a boom of Workday Extend because there are very limited people. But the thing is, it's not easy to learn. Okay, and it's not easy for someone to give you training on that. Okay, so those are the things. See, always try to move in that part where things are very limited. Okay, so that when you learn that thing, you become a demanding person. Okay, Workday currently is that tool. So I would say you are secured for some time. Now, after 5 years, if you ask me, even I'm not sure about my job, how can I say, about your job?
No, no, I can understand. No, this is just new functional area for me, so that's why I'm just wanted to know.
Yep. But,
I mean, domain wise and software wise, both.
I think, to be honest, it's good. I have worked in PeopleSoft and I have seen other technology, but I think Workday is good. If you are a coding oriented person, maybe you will get bored in Workday. Okay, but in Workday also there are a lot of things like web services and all. You can do a lot of automations. You can do many things. Okay, but
Okay.
you are a very high level AI person and all those things. Then it may be like it will be kind of boring. If you are a kind of Gen Z alpha beta person, okay, and you are thinking, then somewhere it will be like you will feel something not outdated, but you will feel slowness in your life. Okay, so those are the different. Let's not talk about those things in simple terms. You understand. Right now Workday is a booming technology. There are scope in Workday. Okay,
Okay.
when you start working in Workday, Workday is always evolving. Every 6 months, Workday is releasing updates. Okay,
Hmm.
features, new features. You keep learning those features. Your job will be secured. You will be in good shape. You will keep learning the AI, the new trends of the world, everything. Because Workday is actually, adding all those features in their system. Gradually, Workday is adding all the AI features, everything in their system. So I think, it's fine. It's worth learning Workday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, that's my thinking, but you may understand the market and take your call.
No, I can got many things from you, and it is helpful for me to understand it. Yeah. Thank you so much for that.